Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we enjoy the chocolate decadence at Giano's Candy. Next we dye Easter eggs. Wait until you see these colors. But first, it's a multicultural evening to learn about the Passover meal. An interfaith Seder was held at Stamba Auditorium. Christians and Jews gathered to learn the importance of the Passover holiday and the rituals and symbolism behind the order and steps of the Seder meal. I am here with our United Nations ambassador, also known as Jack Kravitz from Kravitz Deli. And tonight at Stamba Auditorium is an interfaith Seder. And not being of the Jewish faith, Jack, I went online and I got the Seder service in a nutshell. But I think you could be more descriptive.
Well, we'll try working you through it. We'll be gentle. The biblical commandment in Exodus, when Moses was freed the Jews from slavery in Egypt, was that you shall teach it to your children. And the objective of the Seder is to teach your children, and in our case, our friends as well, how the Passover works and celebrate the freedom from Egypt.
Well, I know that there's many courses, and each food represents something else upon the flight, correct?
Well, the Seder itself means order. There's a particular order that you go through.
Now, Jack, explain to me the significance of the matzah.
Well, the matzah is the star of the show here. When the Egyptians let the Jews go, they did it so quickly that there was not time to let their bread rise. So they let the bread bake on their backs. In commemoration of that, we don't eat anything with grain unless it's first made into matzah, which is unleavened bread.
So for the food and the meal this evening, what will we be eating?
Well, the important thing to look at is all the food is made, because it's a meat meal, we're serving chicken tonight, it's all made without dairy. So this is the first item we're serving. It's a traditional item called simmus, which simmus is sweet potatoes, carrots, dried fruit, and it's sweetened almost like a candied sweet potato. We're also going to be serving roasted potatoes, stuffed chicken breast, and again, the stuffing is made with matzah. We'll be serving matzah ball soup. And then we're making desserts, and all our desserts are made without flour, because it's all made out of matzah meal and there's no leavening.
I see that you have a baked kugel. Now that is not bound with flour either.
No, kugel, actually the term kugel means casserole. And this is a casserole made with matzah and vegetables.
Well, Rabbi Sean Berger is here with his family, his daughter Eliana and his granddaughter Marley. And this is a big time for family Passover.
It's the time for family.
And I understand that you and your wife had written the Haggadah that we will be using this evening.
That's correct.
Explain this to me, why I find the book opens backwards, but you say it's not backwards, and what is behind this?
Well, Hebrew is read from right to left, and it corresponds with nature. Because when the new moon starts, it starts on the right. And then when it goes out, the sliver is on the left. So nature itself goes from right to left as time goes by. My wife always made a family Haggadah. The Haggadah is what we call the book with everything in it. And she personalized it, as you said, and wrote songs and explanations, etc. And then I put something together also that would be good for the community. And that's how we have this Haggadah for Stamba.
To have an interfaith celebration, we need Christians and Jews. Representing the Christians, we have Father Belasco and we have Pastor Mager. And Father, I see you have your yarmulke on, and you've attended many Seders.
Yes, we've been doing Jewish Christian studies now for about 40 years. It started with Rabbi Meyer at Temple Element, and many of the ideas that we may share today, and the idea that that Jesus, before he died, celebrated a Seder. They were remembering the events of coming out of Egypt, and then he added to, when he breaks the bread and drinks the third cup, that this is in memory of him. So,
Now, Pastor, this is my first Seder.
This is my first Seder. Here, I wasn't able to be here last year because I was out of town. But I've participated in other Seders in previous communities where I've lived and served. I've had rabbi friends who have come and done this at our churches where I've been. Yeah, so this is not my first one, but my first one here in Youngstown.
And what do you really enjoy about the whole ritual?
Yeah. Well, as George hinted a little bit earlier, I've done studies for my Doctor of Ministry degree. I focused on Jewish-Christian relations, and so I've always had an interest in how we understand our Christian faith better by understanding more about the Jewish faith and Jewish traditions. And so that's been a lot of my interest over the years, is simply to learn more about Judaism and to learn more about our Christian roots in Jesus, who, of course, was Jewish.
I won't ask how many Passovers you've attended, but is that also one of your favorite religious holidays?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed it because we always had all of our family come in and stay with us. And it's been a really big family event, and my mom would cook for everyone, so I always enjoyed it. And it's Marley's first Passover.
So Marley, you seem very excited. Why don't you tell me how excited you are for your first Passover? Yes.
She's excited with a microphone. She wants to eat it.
I know,
She thinks it's part of the Seder.
I know. The Seder meal is steeped in history and tradition. It stresses the importance of honoring the past and suffering while celebrating the present with friends and family. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. I am here with Phil Rita, the owner of the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. You know about the pub. They've got great beer, they have got excellent wine, and the best in cocktails. How about that eatery? We are talking farm-to-table specialties. But where do you go when it's time to party? Magic Tree Pub and Eatery.
Magic Tree is the place to celebrate. We host birthday parties, anniversaries, rehearsal dinners. We even married someone here recently. It was awesome. But the holidays, we host parties for that. We can cater to their budget. We can cater to exactly what foods and beverages they love. This is the place to celebrate right here at the Magic Tree.
And when you're looking for a fundraising opportunity, make sure you call the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. They do it all.
At Spitzer Chevrolet, we want your next vehicle purchase to be smooth, enjoyable, and most importantly, fast. Just go to any vehicle details page on SpitzerLordstown.com and structure your deal by valuing your trade, personalizing payments, and even applying for credit from home. Quick start your deal on a 2016 Cruze for $157 per month or a 2016 Malibu for $199 per month with zero down. Save time and start online with Spitzer Quick Start. Go to SpitzerLordstown.com to start now. Spitzer, saving you more since 1904.
Part of growing up in Youngstown is growing up with Rowley Brothers Markets. Even friends who have moved out of town come to shop and say hi when they're home for a visit.
And my family has always shopped at Rowley's, and today they are still my favorite grocery store. My recipes depend on the best ingredients, and that's why I get them at Rowley's, where you'll always find the freshest food at the best prices.
Rowley Brothers is a proud sponsor of the Casey Malone Show. The quality that customers have come to expect is true local flavor.
Today is going to be a really fun segment. We are going to dye Easter eggs, and joining me in the kitchen is Billy Blue Eyes Tomich and Davine Parks. And the egg is so symbolic of Easter. The Christians, it represents fertility, new beginnings, new life, and this has been the symbol of Easter for thousands of years.
Yeah, early Christianity actually used blood to dye the eggs, and symbolic blood of the Christ being crucified. So it goes back that far when it comes back to the symbolic of what the egg represents.
Oh, well, we're not going to use blood today, are we, Davine?
No, in fact, last year I bought brown eggs, and he says, what are you doing? You're buying brown eggs. You don't color brown eggs. So this year we're going to color brown eggs and white eggs, and we're going to show you the difference.
I think, well, you were telling me about this a few weeks ago, and I, of course, have never dyed a brown egg either. And I think she's right. This will. Think of all the tones. Well, you already saw it.
I did, and she made a believer out of me, because I looked at her and I said, what are we doing with these brown eggs? And she'll say, you're going to see, as we're going to show the audience what they're going to see.
I cannot wait to do this. So I did 2 dozen eggs last night. I boiled these off, hard boiled, and it's very easy to do. Just throw the water in the pan, cover it about 1 inch, bring it to a slow boil over medium-high heat. The minute it comes to a boil, put the lid on it, remove it from the heat, 12 minutes, and you have perfect hard-boiled eggs. You know, usually I used the kits, and they were little tablets in that.
I grew up using the tablets.
But I didn't know you could use regular food dye.
You can use the food coloring that's right in your cabinet. You know, you only use it a few times a year unless you're a baker like him. So you use disposable cups here, which is great. My mom always used the coffee cups in the cupboard, but this won't stain. You can throw them away when you're done. What do you have, about a cup of water in here?
Yeah, a cup of water, and then a tablespoon of white vinegar, and then we've got fluorescent, hot day glow colors, and then I've got, of course, the traditional ones. So we're going to start, and we'll start dripping all the different colors for different combinations. Okay, so we'll start with the red. And how many drops do you add to each cup?
You know, I give it a nice squeeze, but I think I just counted 10 there.
And then the blue, I bet you the blue looks really pretty. It almost probably looks purple, huh? And then, what do you recommend for dye time?
You know, a few minutes and just check on them. You know, you just pull it out and see if you like the color, and
if not, you could just soak it a little longer.
Yeah. It's you know, it's fun for the kids. You know, they can.
It's fun for the adults too.
It is.
Yes, I'm having a really good time right now.
Back to days gone by when you have to do them out, check them, put them back in.
Children hate the waiting game. They really hate waiting for this.
I haven't done this in years.
Very sarcastic.
You know, I don't have kids, so I don't get to do this. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
And Casey, when did you buy your eggs?
Yesterday morning. They're fresh. You want to check the expiration date? Food not seen on my carton here.
They're very fresh eggs, but what we found is that the shelf life of the egg, a little older than it is, and maybe a week prior to coloring them. If you get them then, they are so much easier to peel come Easter morning.
Really? I'll tell you, you are a wealth of fun facts today, Billy Blue Eyes. Let's start with the red.
I'll do the pleasure. What is this? Is this the white one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty.
That's pretty.
It almost has an orangish color to it, doesn't it?
It does. You know, if we want red, we can add a few more drops in there to each one, but
yeah.
Let's look at the brown.
Ooh. Oh, wow. I love that.
That is very
rich.
That is very rich. That is the right term. Very rich. And the blue, let's see here. Oh, now that's pretty. That's like a robin egg, you know?
Very, very blue.
All right, I can't wait to see the brown.
Wow.
Wow, that is almost like a teal green or hunter green. Pink. I think it was the neon pink. Oh, wow.
Wow, that's
I love that.
Different color.
Once again, on the right you have the brown eggs, and on the left you have the white eggs. And one thing you want to notice is how even the brown egg color took versus the white eggs. Still a beautiful color, but the brown eggs are much more richer. They enhance the eggs a lot more and just bring out the color a lot more.
Yeah, you know, you wonder if there's some kind of, you know, bleaching agent or something on the white eggs, you know, because they're naturally not white. So it doesn't seem like the color adheres as well.
Mm-hmm. And you get that with any of them. It almost looks like there's an oil or something on them, but the brown eggs, you know, just don't have that.
I cannot believe just how beautiful those are. I am so happy you guys turned me on to this, and it was so easy. And the instructions are very easy. And just go to my website, CaseymaloneShow.com, and I'll have you know, the measurements and how much we put in. And Billy and Davine, this has really been a lot of fun, and I enjoyed your fun facts.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Will you guys come back?
Absolutely.
All right. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll be right back with more local flavor.
Hi everybody, I'm Danny, owner and operator of Cthulhu Prime Meats, a third-generation butcher shop that not only specializes in quality, but also in customer service and doing things in a new technological way. Chris here is our customer service manager. Chris, what do you think that we do differently than any other grocery store?
I think we personally not only offer great product, but we can offer a great customer service experience as well. We try and treat all our customers like they were family and friends, ask how their family's doing just so they can keep in touch, and give them that customer experience that they deserve.
And the nice part is we not only do that inside the store, but also on CthulhuPrimeMeats.com, where you can buy a lot of our products that we carry here, whether it be grass-fed beef, organic chicken, some of our specialty burgers and bacon. Those are wonderful, and we're going to provide that same customer experience online as we do in store.
Come see us in store or online. Make your next meal one to remember.
People are always asking about the quality of our jewelry. We like to tell them that if it's in our store, it's something any of us would be proud to own. So it's out of my price range, they say. And we explain, quality doesn't have to be expensive. And the pricey stuff you see elsewhere isn't always quality. Kamara Jewelers understands this. You can have confidence in everything here. But if you have a problem, bring it back. We'll fix it, replace it, make it right. That's what we mean by quality at Kamara Jewelers.
There's a new standard in assisted living.
One that combines comfort, luxury, convenience, and the highest quality expert care.
Your loved ones can experience it now in Canfield's premier senior living location.
The Inn at Ironwood offers fine dining and amenities such as a concierge, salon, housekeeping, and laundry services.
And a truly elegant setting in Canfield.
Call us for more information or visit us and take a tour.
The Inn at Ironwood, Canfield's premier senior living location.
He doesn't need your help until he does. 3 cylinders, dual overhead cams, and 50 horsepower. Go bold, go powerful, go Gator.
Welcome to the Sweet Life. Giano's candies have been a part of the fabric in the Mahoning Valley since 1910. It is a true family business, with third-generation brothers John, Greg, and Gus heading up the operations. Every filling, chocolate, egg, and bark is made in their factory in Struthers. Their reach is national thanks to appearances on the Home Shopping Network, but the work ethic, family atmosphere, and quality chocolate makes Giano's a locally owned gem. We are here with the Giano's brothers, and they are the owners of Giano's Candy. And we've got Greg, Gus, and John. Tell me a little bit about the family history. Since 1910, your grandfather started this business.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. He came from Greece. He come over here, started making it, and then my dad brought it over at home. And then John, when he got out of school, he started up. And then when I got out of school, I went with John. And then when Gus got out, he joined us. So it's been a family affair ever since, you know. And now our kids are in it, and we're waiting for grandkids to come in.
I mean, that is such a great story. Now, the three of you working together, guys, who's the hardest working, really, out of the three brothers?
Well, who's here the longest is Greg. I have to admit that. He's here early in the morning getting things started, and he's the last one to leave here. And then, while we all have certain jobs to do, he runs the operations, Greg runs the manufacturing, and I take care of like the outside sales and shipping. And,
so you all have your talents.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. But when it goes back to when we were younger, working in the basement of the home, we'd kill each other. Yeah. But now that, you know, he's somewhere and Greg's elsewhere and I'm elsewhere, we all get along fine now.
John, the process starts, you've got to melt down the chocolate first.
Right, we have a special blend of milk chocolate that we have from 2 different companies that we blend off. As you can see in the vat, this is a 6,000 pound vat that we probably empty once or twice a day. But our chocolate all comes in 10-pound blocks. Okay. You can see. And we pretty much just
chuck it in. Wow.
Yeah, we just keep adding them all day long. They come in 2,000 pound totes. And we get a truckload about every week of chocolate.
How many pounds of chocolate do you go through a year?
Well, we go through about 1 million pounds of chocolate, but that relates to about 1.8 million pounds of candy, because by the time you add the centers and the nuts and the fruits and things like that, so we use about 1 million. We contract 1 million pounds of chocolate.
That is unbelievable. And then you pump from this tank, it'll pump to
whichever unit we want. Over there they're making Easter eggs. We pump it over there. Over there they're making peanut butter. We can pump it to this line, but today they're using dark chocolate on this line, which comes from a different tank.
And what is your ratio for dark chocolate and milk chocolate?
Dark chocolate's is really grown popularity. We're about 75% milk, 25% dark chocolate.
And what is your favorite, milk or dark?
I like all of it. Certain things I like in dark, and then certain things I like in... Our milk chocolate is awesome. So, I mean, you could just sit there and eat the milk chocolate.
And when you are designing your recipe, with, you know, when you're contracting with your chocolate people, what formula are you looking for? Like, what is it exactly that goes into that?
On our milk chocolate, we try to stay middle of the road. This area is known for lighter chocolate, the Ohio area and eastern Pennsylvania. So we're trying to stay middle of the road. It's a little lighter than like your store brands, your Hershey's and everything. So we're trying to stay a little lighter. And our dark is, you know, very dark, very good dark chocolate. But our milk chocolate, we blend it to be right in the middle. We try to, it's very creamy and milky. Ours is, it's got a caramelized flavor. It's different than most everybody else's.
Do you make all your centers?
All our centers are made back in the kitchen there. The kitchen crew usually starts 4 or 5 hours earlier, so they'll make the centers, and when the girls come in, we start enrobing them. This is what we call our enrobing line. Start enrobing them with chocolate, so that whatever's made in the kitchen today will be finished and enrobed by the end of the day today in the warehouse, and some of it's shipped like before noon.
So one day, I mean, it's that fresh.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. When we, if we get an order in for 28 flavors today, we'll probably have 8 of them made today, and then 8 tomorrow and 8 the next day, and then in 3 days it'll go out, it'll be that fresh.
What is your most popular candy that you sell?
Actually, peanut butter is right at the top, but our marshmallow is the most popular candy. We have to make marshmallow sometimes twice a week.
And at Easter time, is that your most popular egg too?
No, actually in the Easter time, our maple walnut, fruit nut, and nut egg, and peanut butter egg are 4 most popular. They're pretty even.
As you can see, the cellophane wrappers are all marked so you know what kind of chocolate you're getting.
Absolutely.
And when you box it...
Right, you know exactly what you're getting.
Well, this, I mean, is a really neat machine.
Oh yeah, we've been doing this. We're kind of the leader in the industry for marking chocolates and selling them individually. There's a truckload goes out of here every day to one of those distributors.
So it's true that you are one of the largest UPS clients in the Mahoning Valley.
Probably, yeah, with the home shopping network.
we've been known to put 5,000 packages a day out.
Tell me how you got hooked up with the home shopping network, because I mean that is just...
Well, the candy industry is a tight industry. If you're in the business and you know anybody, I could walk in any candy store in anywhere in the country and they're going to grab me and take me right through their plant. And a lot of our friends out there, when Home Shopping Network was looking, they steered them our way because what we were doing is what they were looking for. And even like some of our competitors in town, like Dappin's, they're our friends. They're a competitor, but we don't compete against each other.
Yeah.
They they pretty much steered our way because this is what our niche is. I classify ourselves as we're small enough to take on a job that the big company won't. If you needed 1 million pieces, big company doesn't want to hear it. That's not even worth them starting their lines. But then a little guy, he can't do it. So we're right in the middle. We're the biggest little company around.
That's a good slogan.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just from a little boys starting, you know, in the cellar and coming out like this. It's been great, you know. And the thing is, like I said, everybody got their own job. We all know what we got to do. And if there's a problem, we all just sit down and...
We got family, all family. Yep. We got his daughter, my sons, his son. Got cousins.
It's amazing. We all get along and it's good. We all work hard and biggest thing, we good at lunch, that's for sure.
You do eat good at lunch. And I know I see you down at St. John's. So I know.
We all the time.
People always say, you guys getting together for Christmas dinner? I said, we don't want to see each other on Christmas. We see each other every day.
My show is always on. Watch previous segments at CaseyMaloneShow.com. Sponsored by the Ingram Law Office. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.